Hello, my name is Ben Gonzalez. I am the Acting Vice President of Business Operations at Premium CBD Labs, which is an independent third-party testing lab based out in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm coming to you today because on August 21st of 2020, the DEA released a set of rules for the hemp and CBD industry, which they state are just to conform to the 2018 Farm Bill, as well as clarify some terminology and definitions. Unfortunately, if you look under the surface, these rules are incredibly problematic and could be detrimental to this industry. If they're enforced the way they're written right now, they could shut down CBD and hemp production as we know it, complicate issues. They made these rules effective immediately, giving the industry absolutely no time to adjust or respond, except for a comment period that's open until October 20th of this year. And that's why I'm coming to you, and I'll get back to that in a minute. I want to keep this video short, so I'm not going to go through the entire analysis and commentary on this. You can find all of that information on our website, and I really encourage you to read through this. It's at premiumcbdlabs.com/DEA. There's a lot of good information there, as well as information on how to get involved, and I'll get back to that in a minute as well. Just to briefly go over what we're talking about here, the DEA states that any part of the cannabis plant, whether that's the plant material itself or a derivative or extract, that tests above a threshold of 0.3% delta-9 THC is a Schedule I controlled substance. Now, in order to handle those, you need a Schedule I handling license. There's only a few of those in the country. Large pharmaceutical companies have them, some universities that are doing some research, as well as some testing labs, and there's a few CBD processors that have that kind of license as well. But the lion's share, the bulk of this industry, does not have a Schedule I handling license, and they're not easy to come by. This would effectively gut the backbone of this industry if it's enforced the way it's written, especially because there's something known as a work-in-progress hemp extract, WIPHE. This is an intermediary compound that's not intended for sale to the consumer. It's essentially a concentrated form of plant material that's in between the stage from just harvesting the plant and final production of a CBD product that you'd see on the shelf. Those compounds, those intermediary compounds, will almost always test well above that 0.3% threshold and are therefore Schedule I controlled substances. Another thing that this rule does is it flies in the face of some of the USDA's rules with regards to what is considered either good faith or even negligent farming practices that would otherwise be, I guess, exempt from DEA oversight and would be falling under the USDA's oversight with regards to cultivation. We can have an entire discussion about that another time. The last part of this rule, and this is really interesting, the DEA decided that it was going to descheduleize from Schedule 5 to not being on the schedule at all any FDA-approved medication that was cannabinoid-based that had a less than 0.1% residual THC. And there's only one medication on the market that fits this description. As I'm sure you can see, these rules are incredibly problematic, if not a little suspect, and thoroughly devastating to this industry. If nothing more than an economic standpoint, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry that has thousands of jobs hinging on it. And that's why we're building a coalition of voices, and not just people from within the industry, but also consumers and people who know consumers, researchers, anybody who has any interest in CBD, not only as a recreational compound, but as one of the many therapeutic uses that it has. We need your voice to be heard. Go to our website, premiumcbdlabs.com/DEA, read about the analysis, read about the implications of this. And at the bottom of that page is some information about how you can get in touch with your congressmen, your senators, your governors, anybody, including the DEA, to make your voice heard on this. Through education, collaboration, and direct action, we can shape this industry together. We need your voice to be heard. Join us today.